This plant is Spanish moss. Most of you probably recognize this because it's sort of an iconic plant of the Southeast. You picture these beautiful, majestic live oaks with Spanish moss draped on the branches. But this plant is not a moss. Mosses produce spores, and this is actually a flowering plant. Nor is it Spanish, although some of the lore goes that it was named after the Spanish men's beards, which were gray and curly. It's in the bromeliad family. It's actually related to pineapples, and this one happens to be in bloom. And to me, the blooms of the Spanish moss look a little bit like the top of a pineapple plant. Now, this plant does photosynthesize, so even though it looks gray, if you see it after a good rainstorm, it'll have this sort of greenish tint to it. And it is an epiphyte. What an epiphyte means is that it's growing on the tree, but it's not taking anything from the tree. So it absorbs all of its nutrients, all of its water from the air, from the rain, or from like debris that gets onto the tree and starts to break down, and the moss is able to absorb it. This is a very useful plant. Many birds use it for nesting material, insects use it for a home, sometimes bats even roost in clumps of Spanish moss. It's also useful to people. People used to make bedding, like a mattress out of this stuff. And of course you guys are probably going, that sounds awful because it has chiggers in it. And there have been several studies that have looked into that, and they have not found chiggers or the adult mites in Spanish moss. I mean, maybe they get into it once it's on the ground, but while it's on the tree, it is not home to chiggers, although it is home to a lot of other arthropods and invertebrates.